Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So, Shabbat Shalom. So, it's really good to be together. I am on a different podium tonight because the sun is like right in my eyes on that one. So, we're going to begin tonight. This is going to be a bit of a musical Shabbat. We're going to have all our music will either be from our beautiful voices singing together, or it will be from Spotify. So we are going to start tonight with Ma Yafeh Hayom, which can be found on page 10. Please join along or hum along. This is by Shira Klein. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. It's now my pleasure to invite Caroline to the bima for the lighting of our candles. Caroline, pick one of the readings on page 3, and then the lighting, the blessing, will be on page 2. I'll turn the light on for you.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to continue now on page 20 with Lecha Dodi, and this number is by the Maccabees. So they'll be singing verse 1 and 5, and at verse 9, I'll invite everybody to rise and face the entrance of the sanctuary, welcoming the Sabbath bride. Page 20, starting with verse 1 and then 5. Verse 5 is next. Please rise for verse 9. Please remain standing as we continue on page 28 with the Baruch Hu. And we're going to use the version that had the handout by the front door, the entrance to the sanctuary.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya-da-da-da-da, 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 ya-da-da-da-da. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
We're going to continue now on page 30 in Hebrew with Ma'ariv, Aravim, our blessing for creation. But before we do, I just want to talk about the words, say, am I awake, am I prepared? And the Baruch Hu, we know that everything that comes before the Baruch Hu is considered a warm-up. And the hope is by the time we get to the Baruch Hu, we're awake spiritually, we're prepared spiritually and emotionally and intellectually for the experience of worship and prayer. So that's some of an explanation for when he asks, am I awake, am I prepared? Let's continue together on page 30 with Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim Bechokma Poteach She'arim Uvidvuna Mishane Itim Umachalif Et Hazmanim Umisader Et HaKochavim B'mishmerotehem Barakia Kirtzono Bore Yom V'Layla Golel Or Mipnei Choshech V'Choshech Mipnei Or Uma'avir Yom Umevi Laila Umavdil Ben Yom Uvein Laila Adonai Tzivaot Shemo El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Leolam Va'ed Baruch Ata Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. I'm going to invite everyone to rise for Shema Yisrael, the watchword of our faith. And then we're going to go right into the handout that was by the door of And Thou Shalt Love, which is the V'ahavta in English. So let's join together in Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Please be seated as we continue with And Thou Shalt Love. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And all these words which I command you on this day shall be in thy heart, shall be in thy heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them on the doorposts of thy house, and upon thy gates, and upon thy gates, that ye may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your Let's join together on the top of page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Michamocha can be found on page 40. Ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Torah tehilo, Elem, mi kamocha kamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi kamocha nedvim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Who is like you? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Moses and the children cross the sea, sing to you in songs of joy. Who is like you, Adonai? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. All right, so now we are going to continue with Vishamru, which can be found on the top of page 44. Sorry, guys. I was trying to make it a little louder. So tonight we're going to do something a little different. We've come to the Amidah, so I'm going to invite everyone to rise. But this week, we're going to do it in English, something different. So let's join together on page 47, on the bottom of the page. In an envelope marked personal, God addressed me a letter. In an envelope marked personal, I have given my answer. Let's join together in English, page 48. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, God of our fathers and mothers, God of Abraham, God of Isaac, and God of Jacob, God of Sarah, God of Rebekah, God of Rachel, and God of Leah, the great, mighty, and awesome God, transcendent God, who bestows loving kindness, creates everything out of love, remembers the love of our fathers and mothers, and brings redemption to their children's children for the sake of the divine name. Blessed, sovereign, deliverer, helper, and shield, blessed are you, Adonai, Sarah's helper, Abraham's shield. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Page 50. You are forever mighty, Adonai. You give life to all. You rain dew upon us. You sustain life through love, giving life to all through great compassion, supporting the falling, healing the sick, freeing the captive, keeping faith with those who sleep in the dust. Who is like you, source of mighty acts? Who resembles you, a sovereign that takes and gives life, causing deliverance to spring up and faithfully giving life to all? Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol. And page 52, you are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. We continue responsively in the middle of page 55. Disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears.
Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters for the wings of truth, justice, and reality.
Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Let's join together on the top of page 59 with our blessing of thanksgiving, the Hoda'ah. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lecha na'el lehodot. We continue with our prayer for peace, Shalom Rav, page 60. Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tov beinecha livarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki Tahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim So now we call to mind our loved ones who are in need of prayers of healing. Our prayers are with Lev Dickerman, Teresa Todd, Jim Todd, Rifka Butt-Frimit, Leela Wilson, Paul Tackett, Eric Gershkovich, Al Unger, Beth Haberman, Fran Skoll, Michael Fassler, Gary Tarbus, Wes Gersh, Sharon Rand, Robin Unger, Will Duval, Deidre Bradley. Please add the names of your loved ones so we can keep them in our prayers. We join together in our Misha Baruch prayer for healing. It can be found in the middle of page 253. us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. We continue now with Tefillat Halev, the prayers of our own hearts.
Shalom, shalom bimromav, u'ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Shalom, shalom bimromav, u'ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael,
So this is based on information from a book called 60 Days. There was a rabbi who lived in the Soviet Union in the days when the communists ruled. He was sent to Siberia, like many other Jews, when he was caught teaching Judaism to children in his town. While in a forced labor camp, the Rabbi Mendel Futterfass befriended a tightrope walker who was also imprisoned there. After their long days of physical labor, they would look forward to conversing with each other before falling asleep from sheer exhaustion, because their dialogue, as brief as it was, helped them maintain some sense of humanity and sanity. During one of their many talks, the rabbi asked the tightrope walker if he would share with him the secret of his art. He asked, what does one need to be a master tightrope walker? Balance, stamina, concentration? The tightrope walker pondered the rabbi's question and then answered this way. The secret is always keeping your destination in focus. You have to keep your eyes on the other end of the rope. The rabbi looked a bit surprised. The tightrope walker continued asking, what do you think the hardest part is? The rabbi thought the whole process was hard, so he wasn't quite sure how to answer. But then he said, when you get to the middle? No, the tightrope walker said, it's when you make the turn, because for a fraction of a second, you lose sight of your destination. And when you don't have sight of your destination, that's when you're most likely to fall. He said, when you lose sight of your destination, that's when you're most likely to fall. On one hand, this makes good sense. It seems kind of simple. Keep your eyes on where you're going. But on the other hand, it's very profound. It's as applicable for us who are not tightrope walkers or aren't gymnasts as it was for that tightrope walker enslaved in the gulag. And for we Jews, this message is especially relevant at this time of year, just days before we end one year and begin another. For as you know, our new year requires us to look both at where we've been, but also where we're headed. We need to understand who we've been in order to figure out who we want to be. And we need to understand our flaws and our shortcomings before we can begin to improve ourselves. On Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we will stand before God both as individuals and as a congregation. We will be judged by our Creator. We, the current generation, will stand before God just as our ancestors stood before God in the desert, as it says in this week's Torah portion, Nitzavim. And in fact, this is the same Torah portion that we will read on the morning of Yom Kippur. So it is my prayer that on this, the last Shabbat of the year 5783, that each of us not only takes the time, but makes the time to think about who we want to be in the coming year. In other words, let's take the advice of the tightrope walker and remember to keep our eyes focused firmly on our destination. Keep our eyes firmly focused on where we want to go. Shabbat Shalom. We'll be here tomorrow morning at 10:30. Tomorrow night at 5 o'clock is the chili cook-off. At 6 o'clock, we'll start in here with slichot, followed by ice cream sundaes. During the week on September 13th, Bassam Aid, a Palestinian peace activist, is going to be speaking at the Temple Shalom, along with the other congregations, and Hadassah. All of us are sponsors for this speaker coming to town, and there is no cost to attend, but whether you want to attend in person or online, you must register. So it was in the email blast, all the information, so please register even if you want to go online. September 14th is Give for Good Louisville. Temple Shalom is one of the nonprofits participating. Next Friday night, we know we'll be here. It'll be Erev Rosh Hashanah as we begin our new year together. And mark your calendars for Friday, September 29th. We'll start decorating our sukkah at 4. We'll have an abridged Shabbat service, and then we'll have schmoozing in the sukkah, a cookout prepared by Men's Club, and of course, we'll have s'mores and a campfire. So please plan to join us for as much as you can. Wishing everyone Shabbat Shalom. Let's continue on page 282, and we'll rise as we open the Ark, and we'll read from the English again this time. Actually, we're going to start in the middle of 283. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else. Page 287, also in the English. Thus it has been said, Adonai will be sovereign over all the earth. On that day, Adonai will be one, and God's name will be one. Please be seated. Tonight, we remember the following loved ones. We're invited to rise when a loved one's name is read aloud. Edie Bernstein, Anna Jane Corwin, Rini Delorfano, Joseph Jacobson, Alan Kling, Patrick Wallace, Julia Borowick, Robin Lee Hazel, Kenneth Vine, and we're in a period of Shloshim for Patricia Barron. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing, and may they rest in peace as we rise together as a congregation, reciting the Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, bi'alma divrach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'yimeru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach leolam olamei olmaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudasha berichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran b'alma v'yimeru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, as we say together, amen. Please be seated. Our concluding song tonight is Ein Kelohenu. It can be found on page 322. 322. want to thank Travis for streaming tonight. I want to wish Shabbat Shalom to everyone, including everyone who's streaming. Shabbat Shalom. See you next week.